we're gonna find out who won these two beautiful skeins of Sorella. Reason number 4,532 of why I love having a usable stash. This pattern just came out last week. I pulled yarn from my stash and cast it on. Katie, what did you knit? Stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, it's Katie here. I am the Katie behind all of the patterns at Katie DeGroff Knits, the host of the Katie Knits podcast, which you're currently enjoying, and creator of all of the other videos you see here on my channel. If you're not already, take a moment and subscribe so you don't miss out on another one of my videos. And because you're watching, let YouTube know and give this video a thumbs up. And drop me a comment. What are you working on right now? What can you just simply not put down? Whether it's knitting, crochet, craft related, what are you doing? Today for me is Thursday, April 9th, and this is episode 30 of the Katie Knits podcast. I have a jam-packed episode, so grab a cup of something cozy, your project, and let's get to it. Stay tuned. A little bit later in the episode, we will draw the winner for these two lovely skeins of Sorella nylon sock. So I think what we'll do today is I will give you some whip updates and then updates on a brand new cast on, a soon to be cast on, and then new pattern. So let's start with whip updates. This is the completed back panel of my Prospect Tee. I was cranking this out to wear this month at the Fiber Witch Festival in Salem, but now it's taking a back burner for a brand new cast on, which you'll see in a moment. Other whip news, I was able to make great progress on John's Grist Pullover. Just tiny little rundown. I'm using Upland Fiber Co's new base Polypaca for this. And last time I showed you, I had finished the front down to where you were supposed to join in the round. And then I realized the back was a mess and had to rip almost the entire back out. I fudged numbers around and I'm just gonna briefly go over what I did. John is not a square rectangle of a man. His body is more oval shaped, so the back was too wide. And this is just scrunched up on one needle right now, so it looks a little weird. But what I did is I took it all the way back to where I had picked up for the front because I couldn't rip that out anymore because it was connected to the front and the whole front was done, so I wasn't going to frog the whole thing. So I ripped it all the way back there, all the way back to Beasley. I took the stitch count back to I'm knitting the size 3 for him. I took it all the way back to a size 1 and it worked out great. I did not do any additional sleeve or shoulder increases, and I also skipped the underarm shaping on the back to keep it at a size 1 stitch count for the back. And that took in the extra ripple of fabric that was happening on each side, and it fits his body now. Don't be afraid to adjust your knits. Don't be afraid to customize them. It's okay. You don't have to follow a pattern exactly. Don't be afraid to, jump around in sizes and whatnot. So I knit the entire back, and I adore this yarn. I absolutely love it. I have told you time and time again. Now I can attest to the fact that it rips out very nicely and reknits nicely. I just ripped it all out, wound it up into a ball, and then worked off that for the back. I did then, because everything was good and our sizing was good, I joined in the round. So I've done maybe an inch or so in the round. And if you hear cat bell constantly throughout this, there's the cat that is sitting on my feet because he just, for some reason, is just going crazy. Yes, I see you. But anyway, this is John's Grist Pullover. I did fix the back and was able to join in the round and knit about an inch in the round on this. It's so nice. I'm still gonna have it done for he wants to wear it at the Fiber Witch Festival in Salem later on this month. So I will have it done by then. I was kind of busy trying to finish something else this week, which I'll show you in a moment. And because he is not going to leave me alone, we have a cat break. Oh my God, please don't bite my nose. Don't bite. Just lick. I swear. He won't leave me alone. So we have to have a kitty cat break. Okay, so I showed you my Prospect Tee, which is going on the back burner. I showed you John's Grist, which hopefully will be done soon. Giving myself about 2 weeks. I think I definitely want to have it done a good 5-6 days before Fiber Witch so I can wet block it, because I definitely want to wet block that one. Or a few episodes ago, I had showed you my collaboration with FrogIt Yarn for a shawl-shaped scarf. And I had finished and bound off the first sample, which is in a single color. I have the 3-color version, which is halfway done. But then I came up with the idea of a 2-color version as well, because why not have more options than we can handle? And I could not decide on a color combination to save my life. And I knew that I wanted to use this color. This is FrogIt Yarns, Merino DK, and Merlot. I knew I wanted to use that. And my first inkling when I thought of this color was to pair it with this green tweed, also from FrogIt. This is fingering. I would have to hold a double, whatever. I thought it would be really funky. Then I remembered, hey, when you bought this yarn at Indie Untangled last year, you bought a skein of Feederbrook Entropy DK to go with this. What about that? So I pulled it out. And this was the skein of Entropy DK from Feederbrook Farm that I actually purchased to use with this Merlot. Okay, I have 2 options. Then, while I'm down here, I looked through my stash a little bit and found another single skein of Feederbrook Entropy DK, which has been in my stash for about 10 years. Absolutely beautiful, single skein. Now I have 3 choices. So I went ahead and I put this poll up on Instagram. In 24 hours, there was over 50 people that voted, and it didn't really help. It was 34%, 34%, and 31%. So I'm like, okay, this is not helping me. There's no like definitive choice. And I got tons of messages about, are you sure you don't want to go a higher contrast? Because it's going to be mosaic knitting and then basic color work. And I'm like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted something that was a little more tonal for this sample. So I went ahead and I put the same poll up on YouTube. YouTube gave me a little more definitive results, and these guys were the winners. So this is FrogIt Yarns, Merino DK, and Merlot, and this is Feederbrook Farm Entropy DK, the color PX. I've had this in my stash forever. Like I said, it has to be at least 10 years. So I'm actually really happy to use it up. I decided I'm going to use the Feederbrook, which normally you would think would be the accent color, as the main color. Let's see how that goes with the slip stitch pattern and all. This will be casted on very shortly for a 2-color option for the FrogIt collaboration Shawl-Shaped scarf, which still has no name. I did, however, get several great suggestions on some of my latest podcast episodes, as well as private messages. So, oh my goodness, I don't know why I can't settle on a name. Drop me a comment. Do you have a name suggestion for a heavily textured shawl-shaped scarf? Because I need one. So now I am going to give you my millionth reason why I am so happy that I have a usable stash. I have not been following Rebecca Clow's podcasts. She's also known as the Carabea on Instagram, Ravelry, YouTube, all the things. I love her designs. I haven't been following her podcast, so I had no idea what she was coming out with. Boom! She comes out with a brand new pattern. I'm instantly enamored. I can't remember exactly what day it came out, but I was off doing something else. And I'm like, as soon as I get home, I'm casting this on. It has to happen. This was one of those times I was really grateful to have a usable stash. Bought the pattern, printed it out. What do I need yardage wise for yarn? I came and I shopped my stash. What am I talking about? What pattern? The Nostie Tee by Rebecca Clow. As with many of her patterns, you will get not only a fingering gauge, you will also get a DK gauge. There's options for long sleeve, short sleeve, full 9 yards. She just puts it all in to her patterns. Yardage wise, I had several options for the DK gauge. I had pulled several different yarns. Some of them, though, I had other options that I could save to work on other things, so I did. So happy with what I wound up going with. And see, we made a mess. So at Rhinebeck last year, from Miss Bab's booth, I was enamored with these two skeins of Estrelita and Sparkling Sands. And I have just been, I'm not sure if the sparkle is showing up. I seriously hope it is, because it's so pretty. All of the rainbowy speckles in this, I had to have it. There were two skeins that perfectly matched, grabbed both of them. Then I'm like, this is technically a fingering weight. I would consider it like a heavy fingering. I need something to boost it up just a little bit. So I had two skeins of Miss Bab's Moon Glow, their mohair lace, in the colorway Plover. I did have this for another project. I haven't cast it on yet, so it's fair game. Two skeins of each will get me the perfect yardage. So I immediately cast on. I am tangled. I was so excited. I also wanted to try a little trick that everybody seems to be doing. They're knitting their ribbing inside out. Now, when you technically knit ribbing inside out, you work a German short row, and then you knit your ribbing, but this is worked bottom up. And I didn't know that when I bought the pattern, and it would not have swayed me away. I'm actually kind of glad it's bottom up, because by the time I get to splitting for the sleeves, it's gonna go so fast. So I did decide to work my ribbing inside out, and I am going to work all ribbing without the mohair being held with it. I did not want the mohair to constrict it at all, because it's not as stretchy as a superwash. Just show you that. So my ribbing, I worked inside out. I just turned it inside out, and where I did join in the round, there is, I don't know if you can even see that, the slightest gap. So when I weave my ends in, I'll just close that up. The body is the Estrelita, which is the Superwash Merino Sparkle base from Miss Bab's, held with their mohair. Really hope that the sparkle's picking up, because it's so pretty. All of the little colored specks in here, it's just fabulous. And of course, Littlest Charm Co. Charms by the wonderful Kelsey. I'm so happy with this. The body is just these repeats all the way up. It's delicious. I am using the recommended needles, which are US size 4, or what are these? 3.5 millimeter, which, oh my gosh, Katie, you're using the recommended needles. I don't think that's ever happened before. I am knitting the size 4. I love the gauge. I love the fabric I'm getting. I'm so happy with this. Oh my goodness. So this is going to be my top 4 fiber witch. It is slightly drop shouldered. So I wanted to pick a little bit larger size. My bust, the finished bust circumference that I wanted, because I wanted a little bit more of a drop sleeve, little bit more of a cap sleeve. That was my theory behind picking a 4 to knit, because bust circumference wise, I would have picked a 3, but I wanted that little bit extra sleeve. This fabric is so wonderful. I cannot wait to have this done. So I have been just working away on this. This is only, I want to say, like 3 little sessions. I did the ribbing, and then I did 2 repeats, and then I just did a little band yesterday. And again, this is the Nostie Tee by Rebecca Clow that just came out. The reason why I didn't make more progress on my Nostie Tee and John's Grist was because I was finishing my second sample of my Here for the Vibes socks, which the pattern comes out just a few days after this video airs. So if you're not familiar with my Here for the Vibes socks, they are my brand new, soon to be released, Slouchy on Purpose sock pattern. This pair I knit with a double knit sock blank from Fiber Macgyver. Now when you knit your sock, it looks quite ridiculous. Like, what am I doing? I came up with a pattern, very, very simple pattern for the leg that when you put it on your leg, it slouches down. That's what turns this into this. So these are so stinking fun and absolutely perfect for using up all the yarn you have in something. I had this sock blank. I was like, I need to use up every possible inch. And I only had a few inches left. So I met my goal. They're so comfortable. I have very wide calves, so any sock that comes up at all generally just doesn't fit me. Or even if I increase the stitches around the leg or cast on more and then decrease for the foot, it just doesn't look right. Or the pattern will stretch out and doesn't look right. So I wanted something that was versatile that I could wear. Now I got the idea for these when I got the FrogIt Yarns anniversary box. They had a sock set in that box called Frog and Toad Are Friends. And I instantly got this idea, sketched it out, wrote it down, and was like, I need to do this. So I had to make that sample as well. Now, last time you saw these, I just had a little bit at the toe and a little bit of the foot done. Well, they're done now, minus the tacking down and binding off of the folded cuffs. So if you thought the other ones were tall, get ready. They seem to go on and on and on forever. My goal was to use up every little bit of yarn that I could. This, my friends, is all I have left. This teeny tiny little bow tie. This was knit using FrogIt Yarns in their Frog and Toad Are Friends sock set, which is on their merino sock base. I used the main color and then came with a brown mini, and I only have a little bit left, but I did not want my cuffs to be any longer than they're already going to be. So I called it, and I'll just have a little bit left to put in as an accent, maybe on another sock or something. These look quite ridiculous, but let me show you them in action. Trusty sock blocker. The beauty of this pattern is that once you put them on, all of that extra fabric, if you don't get caught on yourself, slouches down into perfection. Now, I did not tack the folded cuff down yet. As soon as I'm done recording this video, I'm going to go upstairs and record a tutorial on how I tack down and bind off my cuffs, hems, brims, everything, and keep it stretchy. So that video will be out. Don't forget to go check that out. All that extra fabric is now a deliciously slouchy sock. It's so wonderful and so warm, and it's almost like way too high for my sock blocker, but the patterning in the leg is so easy and just encourages these deliciously squishy slouches. And you don't have to do the folded cuff if you don't want to. You can do a standard cuff. I did a shadow wrap heel on all of mine. It's not even on the blocker the right way. I'm like, why is this bunched up all weird? You don't have to do a shadow wrap heel. You can do a heel flap and gusset. You can do an afterthought heel. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. That's another beauty of this pattern. I have my favorite rounded toe included. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever toe you want. And my testers did that as well. Like, some of them were like, I did try it, but I have one that I really like better, that fits my foot better. Go ahead and use it. I love these. I'm enamored, and I have one more pair that I want to cast on like very soon, and some yarn that I will show you in my selfish acquisitions time when we bring out the Target basket. But these will be out shortly after this video airs. And let's take a moment to appreciate the absolutely gorgeous colorway that these are knit in. This is the Frog and Toad Are Friends colorway from FrogIt Yarns, which I think I'm definitely going to have to pick another skein up of because it's so pretty. And then this is the little contrast mini that came with the sock set. Just absolutely delightful. I'm such a sucker for green. And I love this. Ugh, so awesome. This pattern will be out Friday. Will be on sale for a limited time, as all my patterns are when they first get released. You've seen them on blockers. You've seen all this. I'm going to insert a little B-roll now of them actually on feet. You can cast on any stitch count. And I include instructions, how to modify the toe, where to put the extra stitches if you want to use my rounded toe for any stitch count. Also, the shadow wrap heel includes both written instructions, and then I link the wonderful Denise from Earth Tones Girl. I link her tutorial because she's fabulous for that. The leg does have to be worked over a multiple of 4. Not a big deal. If you don't have a multiple of 4, you can increase or decrease to get it. There are size suggestions, needle suggestions, whole 9 yards. Huge thanks to my testers for all of the feedback that they gave me, which made this pattern even better than I could have imagined. So, as you can see, these are super slouchy. They will fit any leg. There is also a leg warmer option included in the pattern. If you just want to knit the slouch part, you can do that. I'm so happy with these. They just bring me so much joy. I love them. Absolutely love them. So these are the Here for the Vibes socks designed by me, which will be out Friday. Now do you want to see who's going to win these 2 lovely skeins of Sorella nylon sock? So by random number generator, I have no idea if I'm saying this correctly, but I will stick her response up on the screen. Provi 1494 commented that she wants to make her and her mom matching socks, and then maybe even a Sophie scarf for her mom as well. How perfect would that be for Mother's Day? Just saying. Please email me at sheltypap1@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I will get these out to you. They will soon be on their way to their new home, and hopefully she will share photos of what she made with them. Oh yeah, before I get to anything else, you want to see what I irresponsibly purchased, right? Yeah, who doesn't? So the Target basket has just a little bit in it this week. They were all pre-orders, okay? Let's just, give me some credit here. So my first pre-order that I was waiting for was from Long Dog Yarn. This one, I saw this right after Summer Lee came out with her Trail Magic socks. In one of the samples, she had used a speckled, like pinky lavender for the main color. I saw this one from Long Dog and I was like, yeah. That needs to come home with me. So this is First Blush from Long Dog Yarn on their merino sock base, which is so damn squishy and lovely. So perfect. I absolutely want to use this as a main color with some punchy accent colors for some Trail Magic socks. Then, I can't just order one skein of yarn. Who does that? I mentioned my sock set pattern collection. It is still in the works. Still will be coming out. No idea when. But I didn't have a blue. And I was always on the lookout for a blue. And this one caught me in a way that I wasn't prepared for. I wasn't prepared to keep going back to it and keep loving it. But this one, I'm going to give you just a moment to just look at that little piece of the skein and tell me what you think that it's named. Electric Parakeet. You may not have got the electric part, but a blue parakeet. It screams it, but in the best way. So this is Electric Parakeet. I did grab the sock set in Long Dog Yarns merino sock. Love them. So another pre-order. These both weren't pre-orders, but I was grabbing one and then there was a pre-order for the other. Anyway, these are from Apothocary Fiber Company. And this delicious beauty was a leftover or an extra skein from their February I can't remember what it's called. Oh my gosh, I'm horrible. She has a club going every month, and Mythical Creatures Club, and I think that's what it's called. She put these up, and oh my gosh, there was one left in her Pixie sock base, which is gold stellina. With this color, I was like, I have to have it. So I immediately snagged it. I really hope the stellina's gonna pick up. Oh my gosh, and these are from Apothocary Fiber Company. You simply must go follow her and her yarns. Oh my god, they are gorgeous. So this is just amazing. It is Fire Salamander on her Pixie sock base, which is gold stellina. And then I'm like, well, she put up pre-orders for Marches. And I'm like, oh, I really liked the color palette. So I was like, I'm going to get that too. So when I opened this one, I didn't know what this one even looked like. So it was a really fun surprise. This one is Kelpie. Again, I had to grab it on Pixie. So it's gold stellina. It's so pretty. It is so stinking pretty. I kind of regret not getting more. When I got these, I'm like, oh my god. Number one, they're gorgeous. But I do not, under any circumstances, want to use these for socks. The first thing that comes to my mind is finding a neutral to go with each and using them, potentially held double, for micro stripes on a couple of t-shirts. That's what the first thing that comes to my mind is. Or maybe using them both together with a main color for a Frost Lines cardigan. Ooh. Either way, I don't care. Go follow Apothocary Yarns. Her colors are just amazing. I love them. So not disappointed. I did pick up her Wicked sock set, which is down there, in my caving in sock set shelf. Like my skeins of yarn, there's probably like, I don't know, maybe 4 inches of empty shelf behind them. And Beasley has taken it upon himself to rub all over that shelf. So every time I come down here, they're all caved in. I'm like, oh my god, Beasley, what were you doing again? I've rubbed off on him. What can I say? Now, my last acquisition in the Target basket is my Happy Feet sock set from Playful Day Yarns for the month of April. Now, she teased. This is another one that I get in the mail that I have no idea what it looks like. And she's always early. So I always get it before the first of the month. So there's no possible way for me to be spoiled, which is amazing. Because if there's a spoiler, I'm going to look at it. But she had teased that the theme was April showers bring May flowers. This was going to continue this month, next month. Maybe after that too, but I have been enamored with this club to begin with. But I opened it and I was like, oh my gosh. These are going to become here for the vibe socks too. And I have a whole thing that I want to do that they will be casted on as soon as me and John's tops and sweater is done for Fiber Witch. These are getting casted on. This is Playful Day Tweed, and this is April's Happy Feet Year of Socks sock set. I really hope that this is coming through. This is a rainbow tweed, and then this is just their superwash sock mini. The mini is like lightly, oh my gosh, it's such a light variegation or tonal of pinks and grays and blues, and then this storm cloud. The most beautiful storm cloud on this rainbow tweed. I mean, come on. So again, this is Playful Day Yarns, Happy Feet Year of Socks Club. This is April. These are going to become here for the vibe socks. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to use the mini on the toe and then do chunky stripes that fade into the foot on both. Then I'm just going to work solidly in the main all the way up until it runs out. I can't wait. I can't wait. But I am resisting casting on until my top is done and John's pullover is done. I love this club. You're always worried when you sign up for a club. You don't know if it's going to be kind of repetitive or really what's going to happen, because it's all a mystery. This one, I have said it and I will say it again, the variety is incredible. We are 4 months in. We have 8 months left. I am so excited for every month. Just a little recap. We started with yak in these absolutely delicious classic colors in January. Then we moved to their twist base in what only reminds me and screams conversation hearts for February. Then in March, we got spoiled with 2 minis and this absolutely beautiful, slightly speckled neutral. Then we moved to rainbow tweed in April showers for April. The variety is crazy. I'm so happy I got in on this club. Acquisitions out of the way, I do have a tiny little quilting update for you. And I almost forgot about it, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just run these down and show them. Our stockings are actually in stocking form now. So I did the backs and I quilted backs, the fronts on all of them and sewed them together. They look so good. I'm so happy with them. I have to do the top sashing, which I'm going to do. We initially purchased a different like gray fabric with a snowflake design on it. Doesn't really go anymore. So I have plenty left over from my fat quarters from all of our accent colors. So I'm going to make half square triangles, a little bit smaller, and I'm going to make strips that go along the top. And then I'm going to cut out our initials on each and have this background fabric showing through. I don't know if you've seen the videos of, I'll put up a couple images here. People are taking sweatshirts and they're sewing the fabric, accent fabric behind it and then cutting out things. That's what I'm going to do for our initials for these. And then I just have to do the little tabs, hanging tabs. But they're actually looking like something and they're fully lined with the background fabric. They look so good. Oh my goodness. I just have such a great appreciation for anybody who quilts and any handmade sewn quilted items. Because man, this is a labor of love. It really is. But I'm so happy with how they're coming out. I think that's all the knitting, quilting, all that jazz that I have to talk to you about. I did unintentionally take last week off of filming because we were so busy. Oh my goodness. It just started and it just kept going and I was just like, this is not something that can happen this week. Friday we took the kids to see the new Mario movie. We had to go out for waffles, of course. We had to go out for brunch. So there's the Water Street Waffle Company opened, I want to say almost a year ago. We've been there a couple of times. There's scratch-made restaurant. The food is absolutely to die for. To absolutely die for. I did, oh my gosh, I bought the Mario Uno game to take with us because you're always there a while because it's a scratch-made restaurant and I totally forgot it. Forgot my knitting too, and of course we got to the movie theater early. Oh my gosh. But anyway, we took the kids to see the new Super Mario Brothers movie and it was great. John liked the first one better. Me, Sophia, and Elizabeth liked the second one better. It was just good. They did show a lot of characters that they haven't shown before. And okay, hold the phone. We need to have a discussion. My favorite Mario character is Birdo. Birdo and Yoshi, okay? I was a Yoshi fan and if I have the option to be Birdo as a character, I'm Birdo. Sometimes they like to screw with me and take my Birdo and I have to tell them, force them off Birdo. I'm Birdo. This is not a spoiler because she's only in like 20 seconds of the movie. Birdo's evil. Where did that come from? Hello. Like, is this something I totally missed? Birdo's apparently evil. So I'm an evil character. Oh well. I guess we're going into reading, watching, and listening now at this point. I haven't physically read any of my Buffalo Black and Blue anymore. It's just sitting on my bedside. I've been super tired going to bed, so I haven't been doing that. I am almost done listening to Cultish on an audiobook. I will go over that when I'm done with it and give you the full review, but that is a really interesting book. Very, very interesting. And a great palette cleanser from everything else. It's just really interesting. It's definitely one that I can just pop my headphones on and listen to even like 10, 20 minutes at a time. As far as TV goes, oh my goodness. We're continuing to watch Next Level Chef. Have to root on. We are Team Darian all the way because he's from Buffalo and he's great too. I definitely think he's going to be a front runner in the end. Almost done. We have one more episode, season finale and season 3 of Traders, and then we get to move on to season 4, which just wrapped not too long ago. Can't wait to do that. A great bingeable show. If you haven't jumped on the Traders train yet, we were late to the game, but we've been binging it kind of nonstop. We haven't watched the new Handmaid's Tale sequel yet, and we're a couple episodes behind on Shrinking. I feel like so much is ending and so much is starting. And we've been so busy, so we're like behind. But the one show we are not behind on. Who is watching DTF on HBO? Oh my goodness. I initially, when the first little teasers came out and previews and everything, I saw David Harbour. I saw Hop from Stranger Things. Like, oh my goodness. And Jason Bateman. And I can't remember her name. Samantha. And I can't remember the actress's name, the main actress. But she played Samantha Taggart on ER. So I was like, oh my gosh, I know her. I haven't seen her in forever. Oh my goodness, please excuse Cat Bell. Like, I don't even know how much. I know you guys are going to be able to hear the cat bell. I don't know why. He is just... That's my Joey. But so the cast drew me in. And, okay, I know the meaning behind DTF. I know what that stands for. But the previews led me to believe murder mystery. Initially, John was like, you know what that means, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think that's what it's going to be about. And it is not. I think they just named it that to draw you in. It is an incredible show. Yeah, there's some stuff that goes on, but there's no theatrics. There's no CGI, no special effects. It is raw acting. That's what it's centered on. There's only one episode left. By the time you guys see this, it's going to be over. And John's already, a couple weeks ago, he's like, we're rewatching this. Hands down. And we're big, big rewatchers, especially me. And the kids are like that too. I walked in, totally unrelated, squirrel shiny object Katie here, but I walked into Elizabeth's room the other night to say goodnight to her and she was watching Superstore. I asked her, I'm like, how many times have you watched this? She's like, I have no idea. So she's a big rewatcher too of things. But anyway, we absolutely will rewatch it. It is an amazing show. Amazing. So if you want some kind of a murder mystery with it's so good. The storyline behind it and the little storylines peppered in. Oh my goodness, we're gonna be so sad when that show's over, but it will be rewatched many, many a time. Oh, and what else did we do? Oh my gosh. And then Saturday, another reason why I didn't record last week, John and I went up to Providence. We're like, we're getting out of here for the day. Have fun, kids. And they love it when we leave. They like count down. How many hours are you going to be gone? How many hours do we have for ourselves? Yeah. Okay. But me and John went up to Providence to go see Ginger Billy and his BBC, Brandon Rainwater. Again, we saw them last year at Foxwoods. We followed him for years on social media. If you don't know who Ginger Billy is, he is a very hillbilly comedian who got his start posting on YouTube and Instagram and all that. But he is also an amazing human being. Like, he advocates for animal cruelty all the time. Him and his wife and son are just great people. So go give him a follow. And we got kind of intimidatingly close seats. This was our first time to a comedy club. And so it's general admission seating. We were towards the front of the line. We were going to sit somewhere and John's like, what about those 2 seats? Oh my gosh. Literally, you were in spitting distance, not even. Like John and Brandon were constantly high-fiving. I'll put up a photo here. It was ridiculously intimidating as far as how close we were. But it was so cool. They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And Brandon is kind of, I want to say, up and coming. And it's amazing to see his growth from last year to this year. I wanted more. Everybody wanted more. Not that Ginger Billy wasn't great, but Brandon was amazing. And then last year, I was lucky enough to snag VIP tickets, so we got a meet and greet after the show. And we were kind of sad about that this year. There was no VIP option on any of the tickets. But they did photos afterwards. So I'm like, oh, we're staying. Hands down, absolutely. So this was us last year at Foxwoods when we saw them. Pre-John getting out of the Navy, as you can see, smooth man here. And this was us this year. We got to meet Ginger Billy again and Brandon, and it was so much fun. And it was, Brandon immediately saw John's bells ring, and he's like, oh my God, man, I thought last year was your year. Like they say it every year, but I thought, gosh, I'm sick of hearing that. I don't know what we're doing as a team. But anyway, back to them. Great time. Had an awesome time. Go check them out if they're in your area. And definitely go give them a follow on social media because they are awesome. Super funny. Holy cow. All right. I think I'm out of here. I think I'm done. I'm going to go upstairs and record my super stretchy way that I tack down folded bind offs. So that will be released before this video is released. So it's already out, so go give it a check out. I'll link it up there, down below in the description box, all the places. If you don't have a project on your needles right now that has a folded cuff or brim or hem of some kind, you may in the future. So go give it a watch and then kind of put it in your head and your little library, tool library, as something you can use in the future. Because I love it. And it's in my Here for the Vibe sock pattern, which will be out Friday. Don't forget about that one. And yeah, super busy rest of the day. I have to go record that video and then an intro to a project vlog that I'm starting. And then we have contractors coming to the house to give us copious amounts of estimates on all the fun projects we want to do. Nothing, that we absolutely have to do. I feel like we've done that. And now it's time for some fun stuff. Time for some fun renovations in the house. So some of these are needed too, but I'm throwing in some fun things with them. And so is John. It's like we're getting our utilitarian things, but like some fun stuff. So we're actually able to enjoy our home and make it our own a little bit more. Anyway, that's happening too. So I have a super busy rest of my day. Tired already. But don't forget to go check out the Here for the Vibe socks pattern, which will be out Friday. Go check out my super stretchy tack down bind off video. Super huge congratulations to Provi, $14.94. Get to check on that. On winning these 2 skeins of Sorella, don't forget to email me with my email, which is down below, with your mailing address, and I will get these out so you can make, you and your mom, matching socks and maybe a Sophie scarf like you mentioned for her. That'd be really pretty. And this is such great yarn. It's like workhorse, but it's soft, but it's round and bouncy. It's really a great base. Really great. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, do all the things. And until next time, happy knitting, everybody.